After I defeated every threat in what I knew to be the original Dragon Ball series timeline, when Goku was just a little kid, I defeated Mercenary Dao. I defeated Demon King Piccolo. I defeated Piccolo Jr. and I defeated the Red Ribbon Army, and I even rescued Bulma from Yamcha with my immense powers. No one could stop me, but when I saw this beautiful woman named Frieza, I stopped and paused, and I knew I wanted to be with her. I couldn't resist her at all. When I first saw her, I knew I loved her, so we both ended up having 2 children, and now I was awkwardly standing in front of King Cold asking him for his daughter's hand in marriage, knowing I'm already married to one other woman. And King Cold said, "What, you made love to a Saiyan? My beautiful daughter? Why have you done this? But I must say you seem to be happy with your children." And then King Cold scolded me and said, "Saiyan, if my daughter didn't love you or need you, I'd kill you now, but since you're obviously both in love and both of your hormones are raging and synchronized, and I can smell that and sense that you truly love my daughter, I will allow you to live." And Frieza said, "You might not have a choice in the matter, Father. Goku here is the strongest Saiyan." And King Cold said, "Really? That's interesting." And Frieza said, "He's also an anomaly among his race, like me and him are now immortal, and we both brought the Saiyans back." And he said, "You did what again?" And he also said, "But Frieza, what if they come for us?" And I said, "We are going to formally apologize to them for any inconveniences and all them to work for the galactic control to raise the mortal levels." And then King Cold asked, "How are we going to make money?" And I said, "I have powers that allows me to create anything now, even money and all that." And King Cold said, "Prove. Here's space dollars and zennies, make them." And then I made exact copies of the money, but with the largest amounts possible. And he said, "Oh my goodness, you weren't kidding. Never mind, this will work." And King Cold said, "It seems you have a very resourceful husband, Frieza." And then Frieza said, "Father, he wants us to leave planet Earth alone and also planet Vegeta. In exchange, he will give us whatever we want and need." And then King Cold said, "After what I just witnessed, yes, he can have anything he wants and then some. In fact, you can marry him today along with that other woman. He has the blue-haired woman." And Frieza said, "Her name is Bulma." And King agreed to everything, even to being good, as long as I give them what they want and needed. And just like that, me and Bulma were allowed to marry Frieza, and now we were all standing in front of the Saiyan race. And Frieza and her family said they are sorry for what they did. In exchange, they are freed from the Cold family service. And Frieza even talked to all the Saiyans in her true form, and she said, "As a gesture of kindness, we have something called Dragon Ball's wishing orbs that grants any wish. It will help you, and Kakarot, the son of Bardock and my husband, will make some wishes on your behalf. In fact, your planet has now been made invincible thanks to the son of Bardock. Kakarot, my husband, is your savior, and he should be allowed to become king for doing all this. I highly recommend him as the new king for being so generous to your people." And then they agreed to allow Kakarot to be the king after he makes the wishes to the eternal dragon Shenron to help their planet. And Frieza sighed, and Goku said, "Okay, so I will make wishes to my Dragon Balls to help all of you out, but first I want to spend time with my mother and father." And I no longer had to wait a year to get the Dragon Balls again. I improved everything about Earth's Dragon Balls, and I made them more energy efficient, and they are very powerful, which means no cooldown rate. I can use them anytime, and I'm also able to call them to me whenever I want to. And so that's what I did, and I said, "All Dragon Balls come to me." And then they all tore through the galaxy at light speed without harming any living things, and they all appeared on planet Vegeta. And I said, "Eternal Dragon Shenron, come forth and grant our wishes." And majestic and powerful green dragon came out of the Dragon Balls, and he is massive and bigger than he ever was before. And then he said, "I am the Eternal Dragon Shenron, speak your 7 wishes and they shall be granted." And I said, "Eternal Dragon, please make the Saiyan race one of the richest empires in the galaxy, and please give them the best technology." And Shenron's eyes glowed and flashed brighter, and he said, "Your 2 wishes have been granted." And then I wished to give the Saiyan race unlimited food and flavored beverages, and the Eternal Dragon Shenron said, "2 more wishes have been granted." And all the Saiyans cheered very happily, and they all said, "Thanks, Kakarot." And I said, "You're all welcome." And Shenron said, 4 wishes have now been granted, and I wished for unlimited food also, and he gave me the same thing. He gave the Saiyans a big magical and invincible dinner plate.